Wait, stop. Go back. Go back 10 seconds. There. Look at the shadow. That's not a shadow. That's a shoe. There's someone in that car. Every case has a moment, a single second where everything changes, where a missing person becomes a victim, where a witness becomes a suspect, where hope turns to dread. February 14th, 2016, a Sunday, Valentine's Day, Nashville, Tennessee. A 29-year-old waitress named Chloe Bennett finishes her shift at a downtown diner. She tells her manager, "I'm meeting someone. I'll text you later." She never texted. For 3 days, police treated it as a missing persons case. They interviewed friends. They checked phone records. And then, on the third day, they found her car. That was the moment this case took a dark turn. Chloe Bennett was 29 years old. She worked at the Bluebird Diner. She was saving money for nursing school. Chloe was everyone's favorite. Customers requested her section. She remembered your name, your order, your kids' names. She was the kind of person who made you feel seen.
On Valentine's Day, Chloe worked the morning shift, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. She seemed happy. She wore a new red sweater. She told a coworker she had plans that night. At 2:15 p.m., she clocked out. She walked to her car, a silver Ford Focus, and drove away. Her phone pinged for the last time at 2:32 p.m. near a grocery store parking lot, 2 miles from the diner. Then nothing. Detective Marcus Cole was assigned the case. For 3 days, the case went nowhere. No witnesses, no suspects. Then on February 17th, a security guard reported an abandoned car. Silver Ford Focus. The car was parked behind a closed department store, hidden from the road. The doors were locked. It looked empty. Detective Cole arrived at 9 a.m. He walked around the car. He looked inside. He saw nothing. And then he looked closer. Detective Cole shone his flashlight through the back window. At first, he saw what anyone would see. A jacket on the back seat, a water bottle. Then he saw it. A shadow in the footwell. A shape that didn't belong. I almost missed it. It looked like a jacket that had fallen on the floor. But jackets don't have fingers. I saw fingers. Curled. Pale.
Detective Cole called for backup. When the forensic team arrived, they opened the back door. Chloe Bennett was in the footwell, curled in a ball. Her red sweater was torn. Her hands were bound with plastic zip ties. Duct tape covered her mouth. She was alive. Chloe had been in that footwell for 3 days, in the dark, in the cold, unable to move, unable to scream. The paramedics rushed her to the hospital, dehydrated, hypothermic, but alive. That was the moment this case took a dark turn. Not because Chloe was dead, because someone had kept her alive. Someone had planned this, and that someone was still out there. At the hospital, Chloe was too weak to speak for the first 24 hours. When she finally could talk, she told Detective Cole a story that turned the case from a kidnapping into something far darker. She said she had been talking to a man online, on a dating app, for 2 weeks. He seemed normal. He asked her to meet him on Valentine's Day, at the grocery store parking lot. She agreed. When she arrived, a man walked up to her car. He was not the man in the photos. Before she could react, he sprayed something in her face. Pepper spray. He pushed her into the back seat. He bound her hands. He taped her mouth. And then he drove. I heard him on the phone. He said, "I got her. She's perfect. She'll last a while." I didn't know what that meant. I was so scared.
Chloe said the man parked the car. She felt him leave. And then she was alone. For 3 days. in the dark, not knowing if anyone would ever find her. Detective Cole asked her, "Did you see his face?" Chloe said yes. Detective Cole worked with a forensic sketch artist. Chloe described the man in detail: broad shoulders, a scar above his left eyebrow, a tattoo on his right hand, a snake wrapped around a rose. The sketch was released to the media. Within 48 hours, a woman in Kentucky recognized the tattoo. Her ex-boyfriend, Darren Walsh, age 41, 2 prior arrests for assault. Detective Cole traced Darren Walsh to a motel outside Nashville. He had changed his appearance, shaved his head, grown a beard. But the tattoo was the same. On February 21st, 2016, Darren Walsh was arrested. In his motel room, police found a second roll of duct tape, pepper spray, a burner phone with dating app accounts under 4 different names, and photographs of 4 other women. Darren Walsh was charged with kidnapping, assault, and false imprisonment. Chloe was the first one who survived. Darren Walsh went to trial in November 2016. Chloe testified. She looked him in the eye. She described every detail of those 3 days in the dark. The jury deliberated for 6 hours. Verdict: guilty on all counts. The judge sentenced him to 35 years in federal prison. He will be eligible for parole in 2041. He will be 66 years old.
Mr. Walsh, you targeted vulnerable women. You lured them with lies. The only reason you are not facing murder charges is that Chloe Bennett survived. That is not to your credit. It is to hers. Chloe Bennett left Nashville after the trial. She finished nursing school. She works in a pediatric ICU now. She saves children's lives. She still has nightmares. She still checks her back seat before she drives. But she is alive. They asked me if I was afraid to testify. I said no. I spent 3 days in the dark, bound and gagged, not knowing if I would live or die. A courtroom is nothing compared to that. I wanted him to see my face. I wanted him to know I won. The moment this case took a dark turn was the moment Detective Cole saw fingers in the footwell. But the moment it turned back toward light was the moment Chloe chose to speak. If you are using dating apps, meet in public places. Tell a friend where you're going. Trust your instincts. If you or someone you know has been the victim of online predation, help is available. The number is on your screen. I'm your host. Thank you for watching. And remember, the darkest moments are not the end. Sometimes they're just the beginning of the fight back.